What if BMW took everything you love about the 3 Series, and rebuilt it from the ground up for the electric age? This is the 2026 BMW i3, and it may be the most important electric BMW yet. 2. Introduction. For decades, the BMW 3 Series has been one of the defining cars in the premium sports sedan world. Now BMW is changing the formula. The new BMW i3 is the second production model of BMW's Neue Klasse generation, following the X3. And this isn't simply a 3 Series with an electric motor. BMW has developed a new battery system, new electric drive technology, a new electrical architecture, new software, a new interior interface and a completely redesigned interpretation of the 3 Series. The first production version is the BMW i350 xDrive, with electric motors driving both the front and rear axles. BMW says production starts in Munich in August 2026, with first customer deliveries planned from autumn 2026. So, this is much more than a new model. It is BMW's vision of what the 3 Series should become. 3. Exterior design. The new i3 immediately looks different, but BMW hasn't thrown away its identity. Instead, it has simplified it. The front end combines the traditional kidney grille idea with a new lighting signature. 4 lighting elements create the car's distinctive face, while the grille and lights form a single geometric visual theme. The body uses what BMW describes as a modern 2.5-box sedan design. There is a long wheelbase, short overhangs and pronounced wheel arches. The proportions are still unmistakably BMW. But the surfaces are cleaner and more modern. The dimensions are also substantial. The new BMW i3 measures 4,760 mm long, 1,865 mm wide and 1,480 mm high, with a 2,897 mm wheelbase. That long wheelbase is important. It creates the space needed for the battery while also giving the car the classic stretched proportions expected from a BMW sedan. At the rear, BMW uses a horizontal light signature that emphasizes the width of the car. There are also different wheel designs, exterior packages and finishes, including the new M Le Castellet Blue Metallic. And for buyers who want something more dramatic, an M Sport package is available. The overall design philosophy is clear. The i3 should look like a new BMW, not like a generic electric vehicle. 4. Interior. Inside, BMW has made an even bigger change. The traditional dashboard layout is gone. In its place is a cleaner, more driver-focused cabin built around the new BMW Panoramic iDrive system. The interior feels more open and digital. The driver gets important information directly in front of them, while the central display handles additional functions. BMW has also focused on physical interaction. The steering wheel includes controls designed to work with the new interface, while touch, voice and haptic inputs are combined rather than forcing everything through a touchscreen. There are multiple interior designs available, along with optional multifunction seats and BMW M Sport seats. The result is a cabin that feels more minimalist than the previous generation 3 Series. But BMW still wants it to feel like a driver's car. And that's a difficult balance. Technology should make the car easier to use, not make driving more complicated. 5. Technology. This is probably the biggest reason the i3 matters. BMW has created a completely new software and electronics architecture for Neue Klasse. At the center is BMW Operating System X. Then there is BMW Panoramic Vision, which places information across the driver's field of view. The system combines touch, haptic controls and voice commands. The BMW Intelligent Personal Assistant can understand natural language requests instead of requiring rigid voice commands. BMW is also integrating Amazon Alexa Plus technology into the Intelligent Personal Assistant, with rollout and availability depending on market. And then there is the technology BMW calls the Heart of Joy. Think of it as a high-speed control computer dedicated to coordinating important vehicle functions, including electric propulsion and driving dynamics. BMW says Heart of Joy works together with 3 other high-performance computers as part of the Neue Klasse electronics architecture. This allows the car to process information much faster and coordinate different systems more precisely. The i3 is therefore not just an electric car. It is a software-defined BMW. And BMW intends to improve the experience through software updates over the vehicle's life. 6. Engine and performance. Of course, there is no conventional engine. The BMW i3 is fully electric. The first model announced for the US market is the BMW i350 xDrive. It uses one electric motor on each axle, giving it all-wheel drive. Combined output is 463 horsepower, with 476 pound-feet of torque. BMW has not published a final conventional engine-style transmission because this is an electric drivetrain. Instead, the motors deliver their torque through a single-speed reduction system. The really interesting part is the battery technology. The i3 uses BMW's 6th-generation eDrive technology, with new cylindrical battery cells and an 800-volt electrical architecture. BMW says the new system can support DC charging at up to 400 kilowatts. The US i3 is currently projected to deliver up to 440 miles of EPA-estimated range, based on preliminary BMW testing. That figure is important. It is an estimate, not a final EPA certification. The car also supports bidirectional charging functions, including vehicle-to-load, vehicle-to-home and vehicle-to-grid capability, subject to market and equipment availability. So the i3 isn't simply designed to move you from A to B. It can potentially become part of your home's energy system. 7. Driving experience. This is where BMW has perhaps the most to prove. Anyone can build a fast electric sedan. BMW needs to build one that feels like a BMW. The company has spent extensive time testing the i3 in extreme conditions, including winter testing in Arjeplog, Sweden. BMW says the new Heart of Joy system works with BMW Dynamic Performance Control to deliver more precise control of the vehicle. The electric motors provide immediate response. The battery gives the car a low center of gravity. And the long wheelbase should help stability at highway speeds. But BMW has also focused heavily on steering, suspension and braking behavior. The goal isn't simply maximum acceleration. It's predictability. When you turn the steering wheel, the car should respond naturally. When you accelerate out of a corner, the power should be controllable. And when you brake, the transition between regenerative braking and friction braking should feel smooth. That's what separates a good EV from a great driver's car. The i3 has been developed with that exact philosophy in mind. 8. Safety. The new i3 also introduces BMW's latest driver assistance architecture. One of the key technologies is BMW's symbiotic drive. The idea is to make automated assistance work more naturally with the person behind the wheel. Depending on market and equipment, BMW says the i3 can offer Level 2 plus automated driving capability. The new electronics architecture also gives BMW more computing power for advanced assistance and parking functions. However, final equipment can vary by market and trim. And because the car is only entering production in 2026, independent crash test results should be checked once they become available. So we shouldn't claim a safety rating that hasn't been published yet. 9. Reliability and ownership. Reliability is where we have to be realistic. This is a completely new generation of BMW technology. That means there is no long-term reliability history yet. The electric drivetrain itself has fewer conventional mechanical components than a gasoline engine. There is no engine oil, traditional exhaust system or conventional multi-speed gearbox. That can simplify some areas of maintenance. But the i3 also introduces new battery cells, new electronics, new software and new charging technology. So long-term durability is still an open question. BMW's new approach to sustainability is also significant. The company says the i3 uses a life cycle-focused strategy covering development, supply chain, production and end-of-life recycling. Warranty coverage, maintenance schedules and battery guarantees will depend on market. And because the car has not yet accumulated years of customer history, resale value is impossible to judge with confidence. 10. Competitor comparison. The BMW i3 enters one of the most competitive areas of the EV market. The obvious comparison is the Tesla Model 3. Tesla has an established charging ecosystem, strong software and proven EV efficiency. But BMW is targeting a more traditional premium sports sedan experience. Then there is the new generation of electric Mercedes-Benz sedans, which focuses heavily on luxury and technology. BMW's answer is different. It wants luxury, technology and efficiency without losing the driver's connection to the car. The Porsche Taycan is another important benchmark for driving dynamics, although it sits in a different price and performance category. The i3's potential advantage is its balance. It isn't trying to become a giant luxury limousine. It remains a relatively compact sports sedan. And that could make it one of the more interesting premium electric cars for people who actually enjoy driving. 11. Pros and cons. Pros. Classic BMW formula, redesigned for EVs. The i3 retains the basic idea of a sporty premium sedan. 463 horsepower. Strong performance without needing a huge performance-focused model. All-wheel drive. 2 electric motors provide power to both axles. 800-volt architecture. Designed for much faster DC charging. Up to 440 miles projected EPA range. If BM's estimate holds up, that would make the i3 highly competitive for long-distance driving. Panoramic iDrive. A completely new approach to interacting with the vehicle. Heart of joy. BMW is putting significant computing power behind driving dynamics. Cons. New technology means unknown long-term reliability. There is not yet years of customer data. Final range is still provisional. The 440-mile figure is based on preliminary BMW testing. Complex software. More digital functionality can also mean more potential software issues. Premium pricing expected. Final pricing varies by market and must be confirmed by BMW. Charging depends on infrastructure. 400 kilowatts capability doesn't mean every charging station can deliver 400 kilowatts. 12. Buying advice. So, who should consider the 2026 BMW i3? If you want a premium electric sedan that still prioritizes driving dynamics, the i3 deserves a very close look. It is especially interesting for existing BMW owners who want to move into an EV without giving up the familiar 3 Series philosophy. The projected long range also makes it more attractive for people who regularly travel long distances. But if you already own a good 3 Series and don't need an EV, waiting may make sense. The i3 is the beginning of BMW's Neue Klasse sedan family. More variants and technologies will follow. And if your priority is absolute value, there will be less expensive EVs. If your priority is maximum luxury, larger Mercedes or BMW models may make more sense. But if you want an electric sedan that tries to combine efficiency, technology and genuine driving character, the i3 belongs on your shortlist. 13. Final verdict. The old BMW i3 was one of the most unusual cars BMW ever built. The new BMW i3 is almost the complete opposite. Instead of being a strange little electric experiment, it takes the most important BMW sedan nameplate and pushes it into the heart of the company's electric future. The new i3 has the proportions of a BMW 3 Series. The performance of a serious EV. The technology of a new software-defined vehicle. And the charging architecture to make long-distance electric driving much easier. But the most important question isn't about range. It isn't about horsepower. It isn't even about technology. It's this: does it still feel like a BMW? That's the question BMW has spent years trying to answer. And with the heart of joy, new eDrive system, rear-biased driving philosophy and driver-focused cabin, the company clearly believes the answer is yes. The 2026 BMW i3 isn't simply the electric 3 Series. It is BMW's statement that the future of driving doesn't have to mean the end of driving pleasure. And if BMW gets that balance right, this could become one of the most important cars of the Neue Klasse era. If you enjoyed this review, subscribe for more BMW reviews, EVs, future cars and automotive technology. And tell me in the comments, would you choose the new BMW i3 over a Tesla Model 3 or Mercedes electric sedan?